They say that Twitter's the place to connect with all the people that you want to know. And the good news is that there are a ton of great teachers on Twitter. But when it comes to online privacy, Twitter can be a little bit tricky. So whether you're brand new or a longtime user, it's worth checking out your privacy settings. Let's head over to the privacy page and take a look. So from the profile page, you want to go over here to your profile pic at the top. You can click it and scroll down to Settings and Privacy. This takes you to your Account tab where you have some information about your account. You want to click the second tab on Privacy and Safety. Now there's a lot to explore here. We'll just go over a few main parts with the implications for teachers. First up, under the Privacy heading, we've got Protect My Tweets. This is the setting that makes your account either public or what Twitter calls protected. Unchecked means public. This means that anyone on the web can search for and see your tweets, even if they don't have a Twitter account. If I were to check this box, which I'm not going to do right now, that would mean protected. And that means your tweets can only be seen by the people you've allowed to follow you on Twitter. Twitter is, just by its very nature, a more public platform than others. But even with a public account, there are still some privacy settings that might be helpful for you as a teacher. First up, tweet location. This gives you the option to add location information to your tweets. The default here is off. As you can see, I have mine checked. This automatically adds location information to all of my tweets. For example, if I go over here to the tweet button and click it, my location is automatically tagged. And if I click the location button, I can remove location. Now consider students' privacy and safety when tweeting from your school and tagging the location. Even if your Twitter account is a personal one, consider what tweeting with a location might reveal about you, where you might live, places you might often go, and so on. Also, if you use Twitter on your phone or mobile device, regularly check that these settings are the same there as well. Next up, photo tagging and discoverability. We'll go over these very briefly. Photo tagging allows others to tag your Twitter handle in a photo versus just in a tweet. And discoverability and address book are more about giving Twitter access to your contacts, purportedly to help you find people to follow. Neither of these features is really necessary, and you can certainly skip using them if you want to. Personalization and data. This is a big one, and it's a good reminder of how we can think about online privacy in more than one way. I'll go ahead and click Edit here, and as you'll see, it brings us to a new page. Now there's the visibility of what you say and do among other people on the network, but there's also your data privacy. That's the information that Twitter or any other platform is collecting about you behind the scenes. And then there's the issue of what they're doing with that data. I'm going to go in reverse order here, starting with data here at the bottom. The first box, track where you see Twitter content across the web. Do you want Twitter to track what you do elsewhere on the web and then use that info to personalize your Twitter feed? If you do, you could click here. And for the second box, share data through select partnerships. The wording on this one's pretty vague, and that's probably a good reason to leave it unchecked. We don't know who these select partnerships are with, and because of that, I'm not going to check that box. Now back up to the top, under personalization. Basically, do you want Twitter to personalize what you see based on your habits as a user? If you do, you can check these boxes. If you don't, leave these boxes unchecked. You can personalize the ads. You can personalize based on the apps that you're using. You can personalize across all your devices. And you can personalize based on the places that you've been. But with all of these, be conscious about whether or not you want this kind of personalization, and be aware of what you're likely giving up in return. So back over to the Privacy and Safety tab, let's talk about direct messages. The direct messages setting could be important for teachers. Receive direct messages from anyone might not be one you want to check. If you're not following students and parents, or if you're asking them not to follow you, you might not want direct messages from them on Twitter. And the send/receive read receipts simply shows you if or when someone has seen your direct message and vice versa. Last up, let's talk about safety. Twitter lets you hide, quote, sensitive content when you search and or in the stream of tweets from those you follow. But what exactly does Twitter mean by sensitive content? That's a good question. Twitter isn't super clear about this, but it's good to be aware that you have some options here. And remove blocked and muted accounts simply means that tweets from people you've blocked or muted don't show up in your feed. Also, one last thing to keep in mind. No matter what social media platforms you or your students are using, consider what privacy actually means on social media. Think about the data the platform collects about you versus what you actually get out of the platform. There's always a trade-off there. To learn more about online privacy and for more teaching tips on all kinds of EdTech resources, head over to Common Sense Education.